And I go to Sham, then it's like Luka for AD. And then it was funny, like I heard like 10 seconds later, all I hear in the hallway is like, "Hey, yo, what the fuck?" And I'm like, I look on my door, and it's Najee, D Live, I think PJ, and then we just like looking at each other. We like, "Hey, yo, like what the fuck just happened?"
Welcome to The Young Man in the Three, presented by Wondery and 342 Productions. This is episode 24. Quentin Grimes, live from Camden, New Jersey. We just learned this is your first ever podcast.
First ever pod, man.
How?
Hey, I don't know. I've been in New York for 3 years, no pod. Well, once I left, Jalen then ran up that pod. So yeah, but now this is the first.
I know the timing. I feel like the time you were about 4 months from you would have had that.
Being on the episode with them guys.
Yeah, you would have had that experience for sure. Yeah. So we got a lot of stuff to get into. I want to start though. We were just sort of talking off camera. I want to start with our boy who's in LA right now, just because I just saw him last week. I was telling you, he speaks so highly of you. This is JJ, obviously, if you know the people listening at home aren't sure. He speaks so highly of you. You spent a lot of time with him working out when you were sort of in a different point in your career. I want to kind of, I don't know if we ever really talked about, if he's ever really talked about that experience publicly too much, but it's a thing that, you know, we all talked about. I was wondering if you could sort of share with the audience some of that, what that experience was like.
Yeah, no, it was great. I think it was the summer after my second year. I knew going into that third year, I was expecting to have a bigger going to the year with a bigger role and stuff like that. So I literally DM'd him. And I was like, yo, like, I want to get some work in with you like this summer. Let me know anytime that's available for you. Like, I'll make it work and I'll come out there. And then he hit me like right away and was like, yo, like, I'm so down to work with you. And then we set up a time. He had me come out to, what's the spot? The Hamptons. Yeah, the Hamptons out there. Yeah. And he let me stay in his guest house. Well, then we worked out for 2 days, and like the work that he does is just like unreal. Just knowing like how good of a shooter he is. Like he knew like right away like some of the little things with like my footwork. If I had like an injury, he was like, "Did you hurt your knee?" I was like, "Yeah." Like, how the hell you know that? Like he was like, I could tell like coming down on the pin down and stuff like that. So working out with him, which is great. And I worked out with him a couple times in Brooklyn before the season for my third year, and he's just like a wizard of the game. Like he just knows the ins and outs of it, how to come off certain screens. Like it was amazing for sure.
How would you describe, I mean, I think he's a part of this, but in general, and we're going to get into a lot of background stuff, but just like your process of learning to be a professional. You know, you had a lot of success in college, you had a lot of success in high school, you had a lot of success in college, but just learning to be professional and things like this, like working out with a guy like that, working out with some of the other vets you've sort of had the luxury of learning from over the years. Learning what the distinction is in that kind of setup versus, you know, what you were doing when you were a little younger.
Yeah, nah, definitely. Just like you said, how to be a pro. Just learning from him. Just like going over there was like big. Even when I got to Dallas, like with Kyrie and Klay, just watching those guys like every single day. Kyrie was just like every time he stepped on the court, it was like purposeful. He came in with a purpose. Klay was like the same way, good game, bad game. He was just the same routine every single day, shooting with him and stuff like that. So just learning to be a pro was like the biggest thing. Just like having a routine. Once you get a routine, you kind of stick to it. You know what to do, and it kind of makes your day-to-day life a little easier going into games.
What's your routine now?
Me, man, like I actually like the biggest thing. I changed my whole routine kind of once I got to Dallas. Like I had like a little bit of a routine that was kind of just like, I'm comfortable with it. Once I saw Kyrie and just how hard like he works, they got like a massage like right before every game. I was like, damn, like am I really doing everything I can to possibly be the best right now? And then so I started getting like 30-minute massage before every game. So I do that before every game, even when I wake up, the day up games, maybe right after game. So just like watching those guys, how much they take care of their body, like it's huge. So that was my biggest takeaway.
Do you have a particular? So we named our company 342 Productions because he would take 342 shots, not 341, not 342. Take 342 shots every day.
He told me about it.
And he was psychotic about it, for lack of a better word. He was psychotic. Do you have specific things? You know, from a shooting standpoint, from a particular workout standpoint, that you've put into your in-season and off-season routine that you feel like are similar?
Yeah, he definitely told me just like even as a shooter not having like your feet like catching the same way, like do right, left, right, come in from like the left side, turn your whole body right side. So I do that. And then, but just like, I guess like on off days, I need to do like 25, 30 minutes, like corner three, shake up, off the dribble, certain reads that I might get, whatever team we're playing next, stuff like that. But he definitely gave me like little tidbits I try to always incorporate with just like my footwork. No shot's ever going to be the same in the game. So I try to incorporate that with my workouts and everything like that too.
I want to go back a little bit. I want to go back to Woodlands.
Yeah, oh man.
So we gotta start.
College Park.
We'll start at the beginning. Great sports, high school sports part of the country is Woodlands, Texas.
Yeah.
Ton of Adrian Peterson, ton of like
a lot of
highest level athletes and all kinds of Simone Biles, right?
Simone Biles from the Woodlands, Spring, Danny Amendola, Patriots.
What point in your life, when did you start to feel, by the time you got to Kansas, you were a big recruit and everything like that, but at what point in your life did you feel like your game took the jump?
I would probably say like that's my sophomore summer AAU. Like I grew, like my freshman and sophomore, I grew about like 3 inches like that summer going to my sophomore year. I grew from like 6'1" to like 6'4". That summer, I took out the whole summer of AAU my freshman year, and me and my dad just worked out. He was like, nah, I'm going to really like develop you. We're going to work on skill. And I was just playing pickup with older guys, getting beat up and everything. So that was a big summer for me. But that sophomore summer was when like I really locked in, played my first time on the Adidas circuit, got like 15, 20 offers from like every school imaginable and everything. So that was like the big summer for me when I kind of was like, okay, like I'm gonna start taking it serious and putting a lot more extra work after practicing during the season. And that was just like the biggest summer. I think they had Adidas Nations.
Yeah.
I went there, played well, and then like, name, you start buzzing. People want to see you, see if you play against the top players and stuff like that. So that was like a big thing for me.
What's the comp like from a high school level down there?
It's like, I think it's one of the best. Like, if not, because like in Texas in general, you just got athletes.
Yeah.
Like, you got to play football in high school. Like, you just have to.
I was gonna say, did you think about football?
Nah, hell no, I ain't playing football. I'm good on that. Like, you had to play in middle school.
You could, like, you have the build. Like, we always
just
talk about this, but like, I feel like you could have.
Yeah, I feel like any basketball player could, but like in Texas, you have to play in middle school, and I did it my 7th grade year. Then I was like, nah, I'm going to PE. Like, I'm good. I'm just playing basketball during 8th grade. But nah, the talent is it's off the charts. So we got me, Tyrese, Kelly, EG. Well, EG played for cosigned, but we got just 3 guys right there just from Texas.
So Reese was Dallas, right?
Yeah, Reese is Dallas.
Did you play with him at all in high school?
Yeah, we played in Team USA together, U18. We won gold. I got the MVP though, but we won gold.
Didn't forget that.
Yeah, I won MVP. We won gold. But nah, I played with Kelly. I worked out with him a couple times when I was young. He played with Houston Hoops. I worked out with him a couple times. But nah, Texas is like, it's a hotbed. You know what I mean? You can get point guards, like wings, centers, like whoever. Like, so I think Texas got to be one of the best states.
So this was been in the press a little bit and stuff like that. Your half brother is a professional hockey player.
Mm.
A little older, but 34, 35?
Yeah, 34, 10 years older than me. Yeah, 34.
Did you ever get on the skates?
Nah, heck no, that was not my thing. I did it one time, went to go see him. I bust my ass on the skates. I'm like, yeah, it's over with for me. Yeah, like, I'm not doing this shit no more. Like, this is not it. But it's funny because like he got the 6'8" jeans. I'm 6'5". I mean, it's decent height, but like if I was 6'8", it may be way different. But
it is funny that he's taller than you're the NBA player. He's taller.
Everybody's like, how does that even work out? Like my mom's like 5'11". His dad's like 6'4" or something like that. So he got the 6'8" jeans, like 7'2" on skates. And he defenseman, like beating up guys and everything. I'm 6'5", but it all worked out.
How much time did you guys get to, hang together, but also just work out together? Yeah,
now because I'm basically an only child because he lived with his dad. He had to move. Hockey's like completely
And he
different.
was in Canada?
Yeah, like he moved to Canada like right when I was born. And I guess hockey's a little different. Like you go straight to kind of like the minor leagues and stuff like that. So he did that. And it kind of took off for him. He was drafted early in his career. So we didn't really get to hang out a whole bunch. But like you said, like I said, around my sophomore year, got real serious about it. My mom would ask him just like certain things about his diet, how he takes care of his body. Like she would start sending me to school with like meal prep lunches and stuff like that to get ready for my games in high school. So, that was a big help for me, just having somebody to talk to and call about that. It is
kind of funny with you two where you're like, it's like where you lived.
Yeah.
Like if you, like you say that about skating, but if you move to Canada, you might be like,
that's what I'm saying. I might be,
Devils right now.
Exactly. The funny thing is my dad said he was a pretty good basketball player though. He said he could hoop a little bit when he was younger. So I guess it all worked out though.
How did Kansas come to be?
Kansas, man, it was down to like 4 schools, like Kansas, Kentucky, Texas, and Marquette. And then like they was coming in 4 deep like every week just to see me during high school. So I was like, man, they coming in 4 deep every week. Like I'm going there and playing the same way that I did out of high school. So once I seen how much love I was getting, I was like, oh yeah, like it's a no-brainer for sure.
Your process there from, you know, a school like that with their sort of like pedigree like that, and then ending up at Houston. Looking back on it now, obviously it ended great at Houston. Looking back on it now, what do you feel like you sort of learned from the collegiate experience overall?
Yeah, I mean, just everybody, like you said, everybody's path is like a little different.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think it was going through that Kansas experience and like, that adversity. For me, I think looking back on it was like the best thing from me, just from a mental standpoint, getting ready for anything that's thrown at you in the league. And so just like every fit may not be the right fit. Like once that summer, I tested the waters and then I was working out in Phoenix for like maybe like a month or 2 months. And like I knew Harden a little bit just from he was in Houston doing this thing. I was high school, he kind of knew about me. We had an open run out there. And then I was having a pretty good day. We was killing. We was on the same team. And then he had played for Coach Sampson for like 6 months when he was like Coach Sampson was like an interim head coach with the Rockets. And he had called Coach Samp like right away because he knew like I was transferring. And he was called Coach Sampson, was like, yo, like you got to get Quentin. You got to get this kid.
That's funny.
Coach Sampson was like right up there call with him. He called me.
So he wasn't
like,
on you till James.
Yeah. Or they was on me like a little bit. But then when James got that call, they was
I also feel like
day.
He's probably not gassing people all the time.
Yeah, exactly.
So you just are like, if he's going to pick up the phone and call.
Yeah, we playing pickup like 2 or 3 days at ASU and then had like 2 or 3 good days in a row and then like playing against other NBA guys at comp and stuff like that.
Why do you think, this is a little bit of a sort of side topic with James, just thinking about this. We did an app a couple weeks ago with Norm Powell, and he obviously loves him, has known him forever, but he just is like, he is one of the great players in NBA history. His game is so unique though. I mean, like, how would you even describe like what makes him so good?
I think just being like one of those one-on-one players, you know what I mean? Like he's just so like I don't know. It's like it's a rhythm, but it's not of a rhythm. Kind of the way he dribbles and he left-handed. You know what I mean? The sidestep is different. So just watching, even guarding him, it's like tough because like you can't. He jumps forward with a shot, so you can't contest crazy. They're gonna call like James Harden. He's gonna get the call. So like it was one time like we played him early this year, and it was like, don't jump on the right side of him, like you're gonna foul him. And like first play, I fouled him on a 3-point shot. I was like somebody subbed out, but no, I just don't even like. He's just special, you know.
He's
what I mean?
also big.
Yeah, I think he's
big as fuck.
He so just like pause, but like he thick, you know. Like pause, but like he's just a bigger dude, and just, he's 6'5". Like he can like put his shoulder into you, get to a fade, like he can get all the way to the rim, and then he's throwing the lobs to whoever is around the rim, but. He's just a special player, honestly.
It's funny thinking about those I wouldn't want to bring it up with him, but thinking about those old Rockets teams.
Man,
where you just are like,
they was running the city like this. What was that,
2017,
2018? Man, Houston, they was running
and
the
you're
city.
Like, you're a couple injuries away from beating that Warriors team with KD.
CP, like who is CP?
Yeah.
James.
So CP turned his ankle.
Yeah.
And they were
had the hamstring.
Or the hamstring. Yeah, the hamstring.
You can like run with like play or something, but nah, that's the city in Houston. They're not, like we had the Astros too. Like, oh man, like
great sports city.
Yeah, great like, it was jumping. No school for like 2-3 days. Like he was good.
What do you think? I mean, we're gonna put this out after this weekend, but I think it's relevant. You know, we're taping this on Friday of the Final Four weekend with Coach Sampson in particular. He's obviously had a ton of success.
Yeah.
You guys were sort of the start of that, but it's continued since then. What do you think makes him so good?
I think. Like people always ask me that, like they was like even when I transferred, they was like, you're going from a crazy head coach to another crazy head coach. But it was like with him just being able to relate to like your players a little bit. Like he gets on us like 24/7. Like he's probably the hardest coach I play for easily. But like he'll get on you and then he'll run you in practice, but then he'll draw a player for you. So you like, okay, cool. Like I'm not really chirping about that because he's yelling at me and cussing at me, but like he's also drawing the play from me and letting me do my thing.
Yeah.
So like all he really demands of you is just to play 120% on defense and rebound. And he kind of lets his guards and really all his players have freedom out there to just play that game. So that makes it easy for me as a player to go out there and just play free and just not worry about mistakes because all he's judging you on is your defense and rebounding.
Also seems like a guy, and this is probably going to keep happening with sort of like the success of the program. He seems like a guy that's great when you're talking about learning from Kansas to get to the league.
Mm-hmm.
A guy that is the transition becomes easier because he's preparing you in real time.
Mm-hmm.
So you're being like, you are going to not necessarily deal with people that are exactly like him,
right.
but there's an understanding of like, this is the type of coach that you're going to be dealing with in the NBA.
Exactly.
And so you just are like, you basically just get a head start.
Exactly. And he was in the league for a little bit. So like, he know what it's supposed to look like. He know like what it's going to take. He know like certain habits ain't going to fly at all when you get to the league. That's what made it easy for me when I going to play for Tibbs, because they basically then are identical with the schemes, how they coach and stuff like that, just how much they get on everybody. But so that made it the easy part for me.
So I was asking about draft night.
Yeah.
Your experience traded on draft night.
Mm-hmm.
What's going on in your head when this is like, how much do you know ahead of time, or the Knicks a thing your agent's telling you about? Like, where are you at with sort of everything getting
draft night? We was in Houston. I found out, I think you get the call a little early. I think I got the call around like, I might have been like the 23rd pick. The 22nd pick, like that, like they call you, they like, if you're still on the board, like, no, we love you, we're gonna take you. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I worked out for him. I had a really good workout with him. It was like me, who was in that workout? Me, Kessler Edwards. I think Bones was in that workout. Bones might have been in that workout. A few other guys, but it was a good workout though. But yeah, you get a call around like 22, 23, like, man, we love you. Had a great workout. Like, if you're still there at 25, we're going to take you. So you hear that. And then, like, it doesn't really sink into you. Like, man, like, they told me that, but I ain't seen my name be called just yet. Like, you never know. And then, like, you see, my phone started blowing up. I guess, like, we always put it out before. You know how he always do.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, shit. Like, is this about to happen? And then, like, your name gets called. I was crying. My mom's crying. And then it was, like, the best day, ever in my life for sure.
Sort of what you were talking about before about, like, the transition from Coach Sampson to Tibbs. What's your first Tibbs experience?
First Tibbs? I'm trying to think. Dang, when did I meet Tibbs for real? We met him when we had to go to all the rookies had to go fly to like wherever you get drafted to. You work there
right away. Like,
yeah. You work out there for like a week.
Yeah.
And like usually, like, you know what I mean? The summer league coach would be like working out. Like the head coach won't even be there. Like there's the summer league head coach guy, he's taking over.
Not this team.
Yeah, not this team. So we get there, it's like me, Deuce, Jericho. And like I think you got to be there at like 9 or something like that. So we working at like 9. We got like the summer league, Irm or Dice was like working us out. And then Tibbs come on the court like 20 minutes, just like he's standing there just watching his workout. And then he just takes over the whole workout. It's like a completely different drill. Like Irm and Dice, they looking around like yo, like what's going on? Tibbs is like, all right, Deuce, Quentin Jericho, coaches come out here, guarding 3-on-3. And like we doing coverage calls with Jericho. Like we supposed to do like just offensive workout, like get some camaraderie or something. He comes on the court, he's like, getting drop coverage, like call out the screens. I'm like, yo, like what is going on? Like, but yeah, that was like he took over the whole thing and just started running it. But that's typical Tibbs, you know what I mean?
I thought what you said when you were there earlier this week, and what you said about him was really interesting. And I feel like, all the guys who play for him sort of have a sort of similar opinion of that. What did you learn your first year in terms of just, we were talking about like professionalism in terms of the, the shooting and sort of the offensive stuff, but just like how to lock up and how to defend? Because you always were a good defensive player in college too, but just like the difference with the expectations with somebody like that.
Yeah, that's what I knew, because like you coming in, they like Tibbs, like he doesn't play rookies. I'm like, oh shit, well, I'm gonna make sure he plays me. You know what I mean? I got to give him a reason to put me on the court. And like, you're not gonna get on the court with offense. They got Julius, RJ, Jalen. Like, you got to give him a reason like that. So I was just like, and if I get in, I'm picking up full court. Like, I'm trying to turn God, make them take tough shots. I'm trying to steal it, be aggressive, overly aggressive, and stuff like that. So I think I didn't even get my first shot really till like 10th game or something like that. So
and that's when you went off early, right?
Yeah, but that was like that was the first time you really getting in the game. My first time I went off when I first started. That was my first game I went off. But like first time getting in the game wasn't until like game like 10 or 11. And I got in the game and Ricky Rubio was lighting my ass up. I was like, damn, like Ricky Rubio killing me. Like, shit. Like, no disrespect. I was just like, you know what I mean? Ricky Rubio passed first. Like, but then that was kind of like my welcome to the NBA moment right there, for sure.
What was he doing to you?
He was like, you know how like if you're an NBA player, if you hot, it don't matter really who guarding you. Like you hot, it don't even matter. You're not seeing anybody.
Yeah.
And he might have had like 40 at the Garden that night. And he was like, it was like the fourth quarter. We down like 20 something. Tibbs like, Quentin. I'm like, oh shit. Like, I was not expecting to get called. So I get up, I'm ready. I'm looking at the board. I'm like, all right, cool, this is my moment. I'm picking up Ricky Rubio. Like, I got him. I can lock up Ricky Rubio. He come down, he like sidestep 3, boom. I'm like, oh shit, like good shot. Like I like that lockout. I know what to do on that one now. Then he come down again, like sidestep 3. I'm like, hell nah, like he's killing me right now. So he was just like, he lit us up. He had like 40 that game. And I was just like, damn, like anybody in the NBA can get
You leave there and you're like, it's different.
Yeah, I'm like, anybody in the NBA can get buckets for sure. So that kind of just like, I got to lock in even more, watch film even more. Like it's different though, for sure.
I feel like you, Deuce and Jericho, you're different. Yeah, like you're similar in certain ways. You have similar personalities in certain ways, but you're also, you're different in your own ways. But I feel like the fans knew right away with you guys. And like it became a thing. It was like, I'm in New York. And so I would see it. And it was always like, I don't really pay attention that much to what people are saying. But they started being like, yo, get these dudes in the game.
Like the kids or whatever. The kids,
get them in the game. Could you feel that too?
Yeah, definitely. Cause like, you know what I mean? You just try to bring a different energy, when you get in the game, try to just turn the game a little bit, whether it be like getting a pass or just like hitting a 3 or something like that. We knew we could bring a little bit of a spark coming off the bench early on in our careers. And I feel like Deuce has been phenomenal for them this past year and last year in the playoffs and everything with them. So we just try to come in with the mindset like, yo, we good. Just come in there and just play our game.
It's also like, and we were doing some eps with the Pacers guys last week, and they were even talking about this, playing them in the playoffs last year. Like the Garden is just different. Like it's a cliche, but the Garden is just different.
Garden OD.
And the Garden, they appreciate the energy.
Yeah,
I mean, it's like this in Philly too. Like you're like Philly.
Oh my knowing.
Yeah,
when we would play here, like you could feel it. Like we feel it when we played there for sure.
Was that something that you felt like the second you started playing kind of real minutes, you could feel that right away of like, oh, I need to kind of level up because of what the expectations are? Yeah,
just because like you said, like the fans in there are crazy. You know what I mean? They ride or die with their team, Knicks fan. So I mean, I think it was like maybe like halfway through the season, we playing good, playing decent, had a little run. And then you just feel like every time you step on the court, you hit a shot, like get loud in there, like you feel the energy. Like you wanna pick up full court, you wanna pressure guys, you wanna try to even get another steal and like just stuff like that. So just playing there, they just give you a certain energy that you really can't get anywhere else. It's hard to say, and it's just MSG. You know what I mean? Like it's the Garden. You gonna play hard, anyways. But nah, they ride out for their fans, just like Philly does. You know what I mean? Like when you play for a sports town, it's easy to go out there and like
Texas though.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
This is what,
you know what I mean? Like it's easy to go out there and play hard for like the city.
Yeah,
you could say.
When Jalen gets there, how much did you know about how he played before being his teammate?
I mean, you've seen how much he was, how effective he was in that playoffs before he got there. So like, I was watching every playoff series, like watching him, like man, he's killing, like he's doing his thing. I think just like everybody, I don't think anybody expected him to come to New York and just like take over the way, right away, like take over the way he did. But like he got there right away. Like you know Jalen, he a great dude. Like he a really good dude. First of all, like great personality and everything like that. So it made it easy. He was coming back home, you know what I mean? He's comfortable. So, like, it made it easy to play with a guy like that when he's a good dude off the court, you know what I mean? So he comes there, and then he just put the city on notice, like, nah, this is my shit. And then he's killing, dropping crazy numbers, playing with him. It's fun to play with because, like, he's like a point guard, but he also just, like, gets buckets so quick. It's like you look up, you're like, dang, he got 25. Like, damn.
He'll body you. The footwork's crazy.
Like, his footwork and then
he's
post.
A 40% three-point shooter.
That's what I'm saying. So, like, he coming off screens, pull up 3. Like, he'll take six guys in the post and post them up. They shoulder, fade, bump fade. Like, he's tough.
I remember I talked after you guys, you beat the Cavs and you lost to the Heat in that series. And I talked to K-Love after that. And he didn't really like, I mean, I think they're cool, but like they're not like, super tight or anything like that. And he basically, there was not enough nice things he could say about you. He was just like, he was a dog.
He tough, bro. He tough. He like one of the toughest shot makers like I've seen for sure. Like he just make tough shots. I make big shots, make tough shots, not afraid to take them. Like that's a big thing for sure with him.
Could you tell that year right away that it, like, I mean, they're in a great spot right now when he gets back and they're healthy, but just could you tell right away that even from your first year that things were starting to kind of like shift?
Oh yeah, definitely. I think because that was like the first year we kind of had like a stable point guard. I would say last year the year before that we had Kemba.
Yeah.
And then they kind of came to like a mutual agreement to like leave after the All-Star break. So it was kind of just up in the air. It was all over the place a little bit. And then we get Jalen, who's kind of coming into his own, had a great playoff experience, playoff run. So we like, cool, we got a point guard, we got Julius. I'm coming back from my second year, we got RJ. Like we got a really solid squad. So that we knew coming into that year that it was going to be way different than the year before.
Do you have with a little bit of time and also just like a lot of success, which we'll get to, sort of outside of that situation, do you have things that you feel like you learned from it that you've sort of taken and you're going to sort of move on for the rest of your career with?
Just from like the New York experience?
Yeah, I feel like anytime you're on your first team,
oh yeah,
you know what I mean? Like you're on your first team, like you're assuming you're not going to be there for 15 years. Like you're going to have things you're going to take, almost like what you're talking about with Kansas, where you're like, I learned this, da-da-da. Like, are there things from New York that you feel like if you're broadly kind of like, sort of speaking about those periods that you sort of will like value and remember the most?
I think just being a pro, like knowing how to be a pro, like knowing that like even if you may go to a different team, other people in the front office and the coaching staff, they go to other teams too. Like don't like be honestly like a good person, because you never know where anybody could end up. Like I've seen people in even when I got to Dallas, like I was like, oh dang, you was with the Knicks. Like, oh, I didn't even know. Like but they was in the back room, you know what I mean? Like and like doing analytics and front office stuff. So I was like, oh, I didn't even know that. They was like, nah, yeah. Like
that's what
I'm saying. Like you never know where people might end up. And I was like, okay, that's a big thing. Like coming in, like being a professional, like speaking to people, coming and getting your work in, not like knowing that it's a job at the end of the day. You know what I mean? I think people forget that. Like it's a business. So
it's a business, and you're in a spot. Like JJ Redick always talk about this too, but like there's so many people who are busting their ass on these organizations across the board, and it's like people talk about the players, talk about the coaches, talk about the GMs or whatever, but there's like so mumuch else that goes into it.
That's what I'm saying.
And these good organizations, like there's a reason why they're consistently
like
good.
Top to bottom, everybody, people in the middle, like that, it means a lot. So I would see people like that I've seen. Yeah, I think there's a few guys in like San Antonio now, like Dallas when I went there. Just like you pop in before the game, you're like, damn, like you here now? Like when did you get here? So it's like you never know where people might end up, who's speaking on you on your behalf. Like, and that's what means people like getting extra little couple here and there money on the contracts if they want to sign like one of your friends or whatever, what the case may be. Like it means a lot for sure.
And like you're clearly like this, but it's like the rep speaks for itself.
Exactly.
Because everyone's talented. Like, it's how like everyone, if you get to the NBA, everyone's good.
That's a big thing. Like, you kind of get like a rep of being just like, even just a scorer. If you get that rep of being a scorer in the NBA, it kind of sticks with you. Like a defensive player, like even if you like a good teammate, a bad teammate, like that rep sticks with you everywhere you go. And then it's hard to break it unless like somebody goes in the media and speaks like, that's false. But like when you get a rep in the NBA, it kind of sticks with you for sure.
I wanted to ask about Detroit.
Yeah.
Both the experience, but then also, those, shout out to them. They're having a great season. And I'm curious, your experience there, but then also what about your experience there makes you like not surprised about what's happening? Because you got to sort of see it and then it took off. You know what I mean?
I think it's because like I got there and then like I was hurt coming off my injury. I was played a couple games like, I got to shut this down. But like I think it's just because they did a full clean house. They did like front office did a whole 180 that you could tell. Like, I think that summer I was there for maybe before I got traded, like 2 weeks before I got traded, they like cleaned everything house, new head coach and everything. I was like, they kind of be serious about what they're doing. They brought in a lot of veteran guys. K was already going to be an all-star, superstar coming into the league and all that. But they cleaned house, got some good vets to complement K, guys who know how to win.
Yeah.
Older players to help him out. And they already got the good young guys with JD and AT. And stuff like that. So you could tell like it was going to turn it was a tough period with them. You know what I mean?
Cade's another one though. We're talking about like with James.
Dallas, Texas, you know what I mean? Like Texas.
Cade is one. I think Cade is an underrated. We talk about this too much, but the dudes who could play football, like you're talking about before. Yeah. Cade is he is a physically like can do anything.
6'8", like you put him at any position, quarterback, wide receiver, slot, like tight end, don't even matter.
It was you didn't get there when they were on the losing streak, right? You came after?
Yeah, I was after that. Yeah, I mean, plenty of losing when we got there, but yeah, I wasn't there for that one.
But like even on the losing streak, and that sucked for them, but it was like, even with that, you could still see it with him.
Right.
Like I feel like it's like if you just watch him play,
he was dropping like 30 and 40, and they would just
they would blow at the end of the game.
Like they just didn't have enough, or they would like do a boneheaded mistake at the end of the game. And it's just like
but you're still like, this dude is so tough.
It's like once he gets some help, like he gonna be good.
It wasn't. There was no question about about that. So it feels like, and I also feel like they, the toughness thing.
Yeah.
It feels like it's a constant theme of like the teams that.
Yeah, they getting in fights now. They getting in fights every game. Like, Isaiah Stewart. It's crazy because, like, it's funny when I got there, you get like that rep I was saying, like, you think Isaiah Stewart, like, wants to fight everybody, angry guy. And then I get there, the nicest dude ever, you know what I mean? Like, Quinn, anything you need, man, I got you. Like, how's everything going? Like, he's great. He got a wife and kids and everything. Like, man, it's a great dude, man.
But don't you think, I'm not saying he's not a great dude, but don't you think some guys are like, this is what competitors do? Like, there's some dudes who like, they're great.
That's what
until
I'm saying.
The game starts, and then it's
they
like you may have a thing with him, even if it's your boy. Like you have a long career ahead of you.
It's crazy. Like he got on that court and he just flipped that switch. I don't know, but he's a good dude though.
Dante's like that too.
I know because he was there with us in the third year, so I could see it a little bit. Like we were getting in practice and everything. He would get mad and like,
he just gets fired up. Yeah, like he just like that's you want someone like that.
Especially on your team too. I'm like, Dante returned.
When you get to Dallas, what was your first impression playing with Luka?
Man, like literally what you see on TV is how it looks when you're playing with him. I think he didn't come to like 2 days before training camp. But we playing pickup with him, and him and D Live is just lob. Like Luka step back three, like he just making every right play that you could think of. Like if somebody's open, like he's gonna find you. That's the one thing they would tell me. It was like, Quinn, bro, just stay there. He's gonna find you. I'm like, man, I don't know. Like I don't know if he's seeing me for real. So like I think I got to slide up the side a little bit. They like, nah, bro, trust me, he's gonna find you. Then a couple of times he go up and just throw a late pass behind his back, and I'm in the corner wide open for a three, and just it's amazing. I'm playing with him for sure.
It's funny you say this. We've done a couple apps with Eli before he got hurt.
Yeah,
and he said basically that exact same thing. He said, I'm going to butcher his story a little bit, but he's basically like the first time he met him, they hadn't texted and shit, but they never met. First time he met him, they go to work out, and he's basically immediately just throwing him lobs. Like the thing where he is like, there's no talking.
Like,
there's no
it's crazy.
He just like puts it on the spot, and he's like, I just got to go jump.
Like it's crazy. Like, I think it was him. I think it's D-Live, me, and Luka. And then, like, you know what I mean? Once they get a couple lives of the live, they take away the live, and I'm wide open. So he just throw it to me, no look, like on the money every time. I'm like,
Did you feel like not just with him, but with Kai, like stuff you're talking before, did you feel like you kind of changed anything in your game, adapting to how these guys were playing?
The funny thing is, I was actually like more surprised of just like playing with those guys. Like you said, like, I would think, okay, I'll just probably be more of a corner shooter, like just like play my game, like not getting open shots. But playing with those guys, they like, nah, like your turn, like you go, like, you know what I mean? So that was the biggest surprise, really. I thought I'm just gonna be in the corner, spotting up, like catching shoot, catching drive here and there. But now they like, I'm getting double, your turn, like you go, you make a play. So that was the biggest thing, which you kind of earn that trust with them in practice and everything. Because we was playing pickup, like before Luka and Kai got there, we was playing pickup like every other day in the summertime. We went to LA as a team, was working out, playing pickup every day for like a week out there. And then when we got back to Dallas, a month before training camp, we every other day playing pickup, everybody in there, like working out together. So I was like, okay, this team we got a chance to do something. And
you had sort of like November, December, January window, you had some moments. You were shooting great, but you had some like real takeover moments, which just became like to what you're saying of just like, oh yeah, like this is just his turn tonight.
Yeah, exactly.
Let him go.
Like even with like, I think because it would be a time where like Kai or Klay or Luka, one of them would be out, and I would kind of just slide into that starter role. And it was like JK was kind of a player's coach, you know what I mean? He knows what it is. Like let their players play, let us make mistakes and stuff like that. So that was a big key for me, just going out there, being aggressive, making the right play. Like you said, Kai and Luka, they gonna get doubled. Like so, yeah, I'm gonna go out there. I'm gonna be aggressive. I'm gonna make a play for myself or one of my teammates as well. I'm like, it's my opportunity for sure to go out there and do my thing.
I feel like people talk about this kind of thing with Steph a lot, but with Kai's handle.
Oh my God!
Did you have any moments where you're just like, "Yo, this is my teammate," but like that actually is...
It's like it'll be times in practice. Like, you know, what I mean, I'm a pretty good defender. But it'll be times in practice. Like we the second unit, I'll be guarding him for like 15 seconds. I'm like, oh yeah, I got him. Like I'm playing good defense. And then there was one time, like I'm like blocking the shot, like my hands are on top of the ball, and he's still going up with it. And he somehow, I don't even know, maneuvers the ball out of my hand and shoots it and makes it. I'm like, bro, I have no idea how he just made that shot. Like I'm blocking the ball on top, and he just keeps going up and hanging in the air, and I'm like, bro, this is insane. What he does.
Don't you love when there's certain guys like Ja does this too? There's certain guys who do this kind of thing, and you look at this as you're like, you're a 25 a game scorer in the NBA currently,
right?
Like right now, and they still will do things, and you'll just be like, how the fuck did that just happen?
It was one time he gave me like 3 or 4 buckets in a row, but I'm playing a really great defense. I'm like, if that's anybody else, I'm blocking that. They're not making that. There's no way. He just like pivot, like baseline spin off the left hand off the backboard. I'm like, no way he made that.
Also, when it's 4, when you're like, all right, 1, 2, when you're like, bro,
I'm like, who else I gonna put on him? Like, I'm playing great defense, like, but it is what it is. It's Kyrie Irving, like.
Do you have any D Live stories?
D Live, let me think, man.
He's a good dude, man.
Yeah, no, great dude,
really
great
good
guy,
dude. Super
great guy.
Interesting guy.
Yeah, great. I mean, everybody loved Legos. I think I ain't know how much he loved dinosaurs and everything. Like he read it off like 20 dinosaurs in a row one time. I was like,
he's got a full aquarium in his house.
Yeah, and he got like
tanks.
10 fish tanks. He telling us he finna get like a whole saltwater fish tank. I'm like, hey, bro, hey, do you, man? Like, I'll come check it out. I'll come check it out one day. But,
I'm a support.
Yeah, I'm gonna come check him out for you. I'll get you a fish for your birthday or something like that. But he a great dude for sure.
Where were you when the Luka trade happened?
Where was I? Oh, I was in my hotel room in Cleveland. I had just ordered some room service. Had got chicken wings. I'm chilling. And then it was funny, like, you know how like you got your friends that like, if one of them was calling you, like, why they calling me? Like, I should probably pick this up. And then when the trade happened, like around like 11:30.
Yeah, it was late because I was in New York.
It was late.
It was like 11:45.
Yeah, it was like 11:30, 11:45. And then my man calling me. I'm like, why he calling me? Like, I'll just probably answer this real quick. There's a FaceTime, and all I could hear him was like, his audio wasn't working. And he traded Luka. I'm like, what? He like, Luka got traded. I'm like, stop playing with me. Like, what you mean Luka got traded? And I go to Sham, then it's like Luka for AD. And then it was funny, like I heard like 10 seconds later, all I hear in the hallway is like, hey, yo, what the fuck? And I'm like, I look on my door, and it's Najee, D Live, I think PJ. And then we just like looking at each other, we like, hey, yo, like, what the fuck just happened? D Live is like, yo, what's going on, man? I'm like, bro, I have no clue what just happened. But the funny thing is, we had got a text around like 9:30. It was like mandatory players and staff meeting. We like, what the hell? Like, what that mean? Like, oh, somebody getting traded. Like, something must have happened. And so that happened. But now once I heard the AO, like, what the fuck? I was like, oh yeah, like, this is really crazy.
How long did it take you that night for it to sink in?
Like, I didn't even, we had an early game. We had like a 3:00 game, and I ain't go to bed till like 3 in the morning because like your friends hitting you
Everyone's
up.
hitting you.
Yeah, I'm telling I'm like, yo, like, come to the room. Like, we got to talk about this. Like, this is crazy. Like, parents hitting you up. Like, I'm just scrolling through Twitter like all night. Like, damn, like, that's crazy.
What was funny about it, we did it. So I was at the Lakers were in New York. They played the Knicks that night. So I was actually going to I was like on the way to their hotel, and they had their own, version of this, I feel like, themselves. We did an ep a couple weeks ago with Shams, and he was talking about it, and he was like, my hands were shaking and shit.
It was crazy.
It feels like everybody had this thing where you are like, it's a where were you moment, and when you're in it, it becomes even weirder because everyone's hitting you, and you're like, I don't know.
Yeah, it's like I can't do nothing about it. I just found out when you found out. Like, it is what it is. But now we found out, I was like, this is crazy.
So the timeline in between that, you get traded on the deadline.
Nah, it was like 2 days before the deadline. Whenever Luka got traded, and I got traded like 2 days after that.
And at that point, are you here? Is there any part of you that is like, you think that you're next, or is it just kind of like?
It was like once, I think we talking about it a little bit with a couple guys on the team. We was like, Luka got traded, anybody could get traded now.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? You think certain guys are untouchable, and then that happens, and you just like, I mean, if anybody's expendable now, you know what I mean? Like, it is what it is. I didn't really think it would be me, but you know what I mean? Just kind of having to work like that. But
did you? Because you've been through this, because you went through it in New York, and it's like, even we're talking about like the lessons of everything, you've had these experiences now of just being professional in different places. When this happens, coming off of the shock, especially, is there a part of you which is like, all right, like even when it happens, like moving is a pain in the ass. Like getting traded is a pain in the ass.
Right.
But at the same point, you're like not really surprised because it has happened to you before.
That and also I try to keep in like perspective. Like it is just basketball. You know what I mean? Like you also we have the best job in the world. It's just like a little bit of a speed bump, a little bit. You know what I mean? In a row, but you try to have that mindset. I'm coming in the 76er. Like at the time, we were trying to play for the play-in spot. And I was like, okay, just come in. Like I'm gonna have even more of an opportunity now with this team to try to help and contribute in a way. So I was just like, it's just basketball at the end of the day. We all run the same stuff. Like it ain't gonna be too much.
And also you get here and like I got the numbers. I don't even want to bore you reading them because this is your life. But like you get here and you immediately start fucking hooping. And so it just becomes a thing because it's literally like it's like this dude is like had his moments in Dallas, and it's like you have these things where like the percentages are great, but even literally just like the shot attempts, like everything about it is like, oh, it's almost like a different player in a way. Was that a besides the obvious minutes and an opportunity thing, which are things you can't really control, did you feel like you had any kind of like shift in your mindset or anything in terms of like you mentioned the play-in, but also just like this is a team in a little bit of a different situation. You don't have a Kai, you don't have a Luka at that point. You know, there's been a ton of injuries and everything. So you're going to get to come in here and actually just kind of go for it.
Yeah, just like what you say, you know what I mean? I know I was coming into a situation where I'm have a little more opportunity with the ball in my hands, a lot more, be able to make a lot more plays with the ball in my hand. So I was like, just come in and just be aggressive. You know what I mean? I know how to play basketball at the end of the day. Just make the right play. Figure out my teammates, what Joel liked to do at the time, PG, play with Tyrese before and stuff like that. So I was just trying to just not step on any toes, but also be aggressive in a way. And then injuries kind of plague some things. So you kind of have more responsibility, more role. So like, I'm gonna make the most of it. I'm gonna try to take over. You know what I mean?
You're not that online, but did you follow how pissed the Dallas fans were getting when you would go?
Oh, no, I saw it for sure. I saw it all. Like I still see it. Like, you know,
it's like every time you go off, it would be like a meltdown. It would be like it's like, oh, like Q has 42 tonight, and it's like you got higher ratings in Dallas.
Exactly. I'm like, hey man, like I didn't make the call with the trade. Like, I just play basketball at the end of the day. But they show a lot of love. You know what I mean? They're a great fan base. They ride it out for their team, their city. But Dallas was a good time for sure. In that little stint I had.
It's also just cool. I think that the thing that like, and I'm kind of curious your perspective on this, but like other guys have talked about this in their own way, is there's so much talent in the NBA, and it's so much based off opportunity. And so when you're even thinking about these things like this, of you make your own luck, you know. So it's not like your performance right now is not luck, but at the same point, like you've sort of been blessed to be put in a situation where you're able to show off the work. And so the perspective on that, a little bit of just like, this is the margins in the NBA are so thin and kind of so small to begin with that like it's just a blessing to have this as a job and get to do this every day, but it's also a blessing to be in a place where you get to sort of like, you know, show that off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, timing is everything. You know what I mean? Opportunities as well. Like you got to just be ready for any opportunities thrown your way. Like that was me like in New York, you know what I mean? You just want a little bit of opportunity to get on the court and then you try to make the most of it there. And I feel like when my stint in Dallas, it kind of foreshadowed a little bit, got me ready in a sense for what I'm doing now this whole time with Philly right now. So just having the opportunity whenever in Dallas, like Kyle went out, okay, I have a little more. I can probably take about 12 to 15 shots tonight, you know what I mean? Stuff like that, and just be effective in that area. And then coming here, I was like, I worked super hard in the summertime. You prepare like you a main guy, even if you're not going to be a like 1 through 3 guy at the time.
Yeah, I
try to like prepare like that in the off season, like get up a lot of reps, like push my body like to exhaustion and stuff like that. So you never know when that opportunity might come, and it just happened to be when I got here to Philly.
With this particular team, I mean, the injuries suck. Just being honest, like the injuries suck, and it's like we were talking about Joel before. It's like Joel, when healthy, is at times the best player in the world.
Oh yeah, for sure.
He's literally unguardable.
Yeah, literally like unstoppable.
Yeah, like Reese has gone through it. PG's gone through it. It's been a lot. That part of it is a drag, but there also have been. You're sort of the most obvious example of this, but like there've been a lot of kind of positive stories out of the team, I would say. in terms of guys that maybe were like undervalued coming into the year who've been great here. I mean, even McCain, even he got hurt too. It's like there's been a bunch of them. So it's
been crazy.
Yeah,
like,
it's been a little weird. In terms
I think we got like total like 9 guys out or something like right now, like top 9 or something. Like.
Who have you just in this sort of short time since you've been here? Who have you sort of enjoyed getting to know, but also just playing with?
I probably would say Yabu. He's probably been like the main guy. Like even you saw him in the Olympics. You know what I mean? He kind of really blew up and made a name for himself. Or like people knew who he was, but kind of just like come back on the scene. And just playing with him, he's been like a pick and pop guy. Like we kind of got a good little chemistry out there on the court. Like if I come off a pick and roll and they double me now, like I just kick to Yabu. He just hit a 3, and it's just like we kind of got a good connection like right there with that. He looks for me all the time, so I'm like that's a good thing to have. You know what I mean? You want to have the ball in your hand. So playing with him has been fun for sure.
It's funny. You guys have had very different experiences, but there probably is a shared perspective. In terms of what we're talking
that's
about.
what I'm saying.
Just like he's somebody who, if he doesn't go off in the Olympics, I don't know if he's here.
Like time is everything. You know what I mean? You got to just be prepared for whatever might come your way. You got to be prepared for they need you to score 30 tonight, if they need you to play defense, you got to be ready for whatever the case may be.
I saw this stat. I don't know, this was a couple of days ago, so it might have changed, but I doubt it's changed that much. Basically, like usage-wise, since you got here, you're like 4th in the league, and it's like I'm gonna butcher. I might have written it down, but it's like Shea. It's kind of the guys who are like in the MVP conversation are ahead of you. From a physical standpoint, from a like load management standpoint, in terms of like being able to handle that, has that been something you've had to change from a prep standpoint at all? Because this has been something that we were talking about before. Like obviously, it's gone that the minutes have gone on and off, and now all of a sudden it's like you gotta get 35 tonight.
Minimum 35 tonight.
Yeah. So like that is a thing where it's like it's one thing if you got a whole summer to prep for that. It's another thing when it just goes like that.
Right.
So have you had to change any of that in like on the fly?
Not really change, but kind of like ramp up a little bit. Like I may not be on the court like too much. Like after practice, it might be like 10 minutes, just maybe just little touch skill stuff here and there.
Yeah.
And then I'm right on the treatment table getting massage. But like I was saying, like I give a lot of credit just when I was in Dallas, like watching Kai, like literally Kai and Klay, just being like those guys are Hall of Famers. Like they're a little older, but they got to take care of their body a little bit more. So I was just literally just watching them. Like they would come in, do quick little, be real sharp on the court, and then get off, and they right on the treatment table getting treatment. Like so, like now when my minutes went up, I was like kind of just okay. I know what that looks like now. Those are heavy, low minutes guys.
Yeah,
this is what I'm doing now. So I go on the court, do my skill work real quick. Then I'm on a treatment table getting massage before practice, after practice, and then I might come back at night and just get a little bit of a tune-up. And so like having seen those guys work, it really helped me for like what I'm doing right now and preparation-wise.
Was there any, with Klay in particular, we were talking about just, talk about with JJ, from a shooting standpoint, was there anything that you learned from a footwork standpoint, anything like that you just were like, you grow up watching this guy, but until he's your teammate, you might not necessarily know, even if you have to guard him.
Yeah, I really didn't know that he hops a lot in his shot. Like, I really didn't know that tonight when I was shooting with him a couple times when he first got there. I was like, oh, like he's not like really a 1-2 kind of a guy. He kind of like catches it, like hops before and shoots it. So like it was a couple times like, but even when you shoot, you try to incorporate different kind of footwork because not everything. I mean, you catch the ball any kind of way, you got to be ready to shoot it. And so I was watching him shooting, working out with him a couple of times, and he was like hopping into it, 1-2, like fade. I was like, oh shit, like, I got to get that, like the no dip. I want to get the no dip soon.
The no dip camp has a no dip.
Man, the no dip, that's crazy with how he does that.
Yeah.
But like just watching him, like I didn't know how much like he hops in every shot. But he was explaining to me, he was like, for him, it's like good base for him, like get his base right and keeps him like locked into the basket. So I was like, damn, that's like. Try to take that into corporation.
I mean, this is probably a question for a bunch of guys, but like when you're like, if you're teaching a rookie next year, what do you feel like your lesson from a pure shooting standpoint? What do you feel like your sort of primary lessons you want to pass on would be?
Probably just playing a lot. You know what I mean? Go in like with a plan, like go and like a pickup, get like some good pickup games in, and like focusing on like 2 or 3 things that you're trying to get good at. Like if you're trying to come down like off pick and roll and shoot off the dribble, like come off tight and like don't worry about how many times you miss it. You got to get like those game reps. Yeah, like you got to get that like that get familiar with that, like how that motion feels in a game like setting in. Like that's what kind of with me. like even here with Philly, like, I'm playing more of like a point guard role, but like, I haven't played point guard since like high school.
So how's that?
I mean?
So how is that? I mean, I was going to bring that up actually, because that sort of gets back to the usage thing of like your playmaking overall. I mean, the assists are way up, but the playmaking overall has been, it isn't just scoring. Like you're having to do everything. And so is that something that you feel like you're learning really on the fly again, or you're like, this was always here? And
it's like you said, like it's always been there. It's just like it's been a while since you've had to do it at this high of a usage. You know what I mean? So like you coming in, and I'm like learning on the fly, like getting more comfortable every game, like with the reps and just coming off pick and rolls and playing with guys. Some guys like to roll, some guys like to pop. So you kind of like you said, you got to play more, get those reps under your belt. Figure out what works, like where I can make that pass, if I can thread that needle, if I can get all the way to the hoop. So just getting those reps under your belt and just like getting more comfortable with every game you play. Then you learn more and more about your game, really.
So this summer, everyone keeps talking about it. You'll figure it out. You'll have some good decisions to make. I feel like, which gets back to the business part of it, and we'll check back in after that. But I'm curious about on the basketball side of things. Because I feel like, and even to get back to how we started, a theme in your career so far has been, and not always with people knowing you're doing it, you are kind of building all the time. You know what I mean? You're picking specific things. Do you have like a set goal where you're like, by camp in the fall, I want to be this needs to be the thing that I've, as close as you can get to mastering?
Yeah, I definitely think like you always have like short-term goals and long-term goals, like where you want to be at the end of the summer. And I feel like now just the way I've kind of really established myself, like you said, like as a scorer and as a playmaker, knowing that next season I'll have a lot more on my plate. I'll be more of a focal point on the scouting reports and stuff like that. So just kind of mastering, sharpening a lot of like the playmaking, getting the ball handling a lot tighter and stuff like that, more consistent with like the off the dribble shooting, stuff like that. So just knowing that that's going to be the main focus point of the summertime. Add a few more things like bag wise, like counters and stuff like that, when the way teams are guarding me and stuff like that. Sure.
We're not going to have this answer yet, but I'm curious which Hall of Fame shooter you're gonna be like. I'm gonna be Allen.
See,
I'm like, who's he gonna show up
which
with?
one next? Yeah, nah, for sure. I mean, I'm with Penny every summer, so I think that this summer will probably be a big one with us. So I'll probably be there a little bit longer in Memphis with him. But nah, it's gonna be a big summer for sure.
My last question. I don't really do the prediction things. I'm not like who's gonna win. I'm more just like, who do you feel like? Or are there guys under the radar that you feel like are going to stand out, that you just are like, this is, 6 weeks from now, 2 months from now, we're going to be talking about X?
I would probably say, I wouldn't be surprised like if like maybe like Jalen Green had like a really good playoffs. Like I feel like that team has been playing really well. Like as a group, everybody kind of has like their roles defined. And I feel like the playoffs could be like a really good situation for him to kind of really like explode even more than he's already done.
For the Thompson, the Thompson could happen. That could happen too.
That's what I'm saying. Thompson is, man, OD. Like it's crazy with how athletic both of them are, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's insane. But I feel like him or the Thompson twins, I feel like Sengun will get so much attention in the playoffs. Might just open up just like easy catch and shoot things for Green and Thompson and stuff like that.
How was the first pod? What do you think?
Man, it was good, man. It was chilling, chopping it up.
Not too hard, right?
Yeah, it's easy.
Just kind of sit and talk.
It's easy. It's easy, man. Easy work.